That ain't gonna work there. Let's see. That might work a little bit. Good morning, anybody watching at the beginning of this. I am in my room at the moment, just kind of chilling. It ain't really cold or anything, but it's damp and wet. It's rainy, which we need the rain. We've been needing the rain. So, trying to set this up here where if I need to, I can be on my laptop as well. Not through Restream, though. That's of course. I think I got it figured out now where when I'm streaming from the phone, in order to be able to share clickable links, I just have there's a little thing over to the left, and it's got where you can do it in vertical, or you can do it in the wide, like you're doing it from a desktop type thing, so it'll make it widescreen. So, uh, doing it this way, I tested it out yesterday afternoon or whatever, like or uh, after I did a stream yesterday, and then was realizing that I was in the vertical, and any link I was putting in the chat was not going to be working. So, and I looked it up afterwards. So YouTube did change it to do that. So apparently, if you're doing like anything in the short section, or if you're doing a live stream from a mobile and you're doing it vertically, they're supposedly saying that they limit, like you can't post clickable links in the chats of live streams that are vertical. You can't post clickable links in the description of shorts or anything like that, to cut down on spam and bots, supposedly. So I knew there was something going on there, and I think at some point you didn't have that going on. I don't know when they might have changed that, but I figured it out. Either I can come through my laptop and be on my laptop streaming and have it logged out of the phone, I guess. Or if I'm on the phone, I just choose I guess it's called landscape or it's widescreen or whatever. But there we go. But I don't know exactly how long I'll be on here. A lot of that depends on a lot of times I'll be sitting here thinking that I'm about to be done here, and then all of a sudden a couple people will pop in the chat or something, So it's kind of like, so let's see what it's looking like online though. I'm gonna go. Actually, I don't need to do that now. I've got it right there. Okay, and let's switch accounts. Well, actually, we don't want to switch account right now. Mute this. And it looks like everything's showing up all right. So good deal. Good deal. Still curious if on my end here in Restream, will this show up for me? Okay, it did finally. The other day, I was trying to post something from my second channel into the chat, looks like I just did now. And so I was trying to post something in the chat the other day, and it, like on my end here in Restream, I wasn't seeing the message pop up in the Grey Cloud Stalks. And then like even on the app, like I'd go in into the chat. Now I knew that I'd typed something in there from the second channel, but I just didn't know. Tuesday morning with Gray Cloud. I hope everybody's doing okay today. I hope anybody that is watching is doing good. Feel free to hit those little heart buttons or those, 100% or the party thing, whatever, them little things you can tap those, and that I've been learning a little bit about. Omar taught me that. Omar Glitch. Uh, so what I'm going to do now though is speaking of Omar, I am going to drop a link for his channel since I may have brought him up. Okay. Yeah, we want to, like, I think maybe later today I might do a, oh, goodness gracious. Come on, Omar. And let's see if we can do this. Y'all just give me a second. I'm sorry that if I'm getting caught up here, I'm trying to see if this works here. We're going to see. And okay, I don't know if that's a, okay. Well, that link is white in the chat, but it is clickable. I just found that out. So, if I just mentioned Omar Glitch, and so if you're curious to who Omar is, you can check it out by going to that link right there that I just shared. I suppose I could share a link to my second channel in case somebody is watching that isn't aware of the second channel. I guess you know what I mean. Uh, since I'm able to do that right now, kind of do that right now. Oh, it looks like I've gotten to 150 subscribers on the second channel, which is cool. Uh, definitely worth, like, I feel like things are starting to move in the right direction. I was going to go to a meeting last night, and it was a Celebrate Recovery that I found out about and was going on. I talked to somebody yesterday. Man, every evening around like between 5 and 6 o'clock, I'm getting dead ass feeling tired and stuff. Now, I didn't go to bed that early or nothing. I did end up going to bed early last night, kind of. But so my neighbor was going to take me, and then somebody else needed a ride like 20 minutes before it was going to be 6 o'clock when that meeting would start. She had to take somebody to do something, and they weren't back. Like by the time it got about 6, I was sitting in the living room and my eyes were feeling really heavy. And she had called and said, they had said, we'll be about 15, 20 minutes. But it hit 6 o'clock. Now the meeting, the guy said they don't end it till about 7:30. So you're talking about, I could have been a little bit late, but they weren't back yet. And so and the way my eyes were feeling, man, I was just like heavy, tired feeling. And I didn't know exactly when she'd pull in. And then if she pulled in at a certain time, we might be in a rush to try to get over there, and then I might not be there that long. So I ended up not going to the meeting. But I did find out that the one over in Eider is still a thing. So I'm going to try to see if they're having it this Friday. They might not be having it. on Friday, this coming Friday, just because it was like Good Friday or whatever, and you had Thanksgiving going on. So I was kind of like thinking, you know what I mean? I was thinking that they might possibly not have the meeting this Friday, but I need to kind of find out if I can. I'm going to try to find out. Uh, Trying to paste this link here. Okay. And it's showing, it shows up wide on my end here, but it is actually a clickable link. I'm seeing that it is. So you can, that's my second channel, Grey Cloud's Thoughts. So if anybody is watching, they can see it there. And I'm trying to go through and figure out okay. I'm checking notifications and doing all that sort of thing. Yeah, and I said yesterday or the other day in a video, I said, what is it? That thing back there, that hole, don't pay attention to that. A few years ago, I that's some real thin stuff there too. You know, trailer. This is an old ass trailer too. I think newer trailers are probably made a little better than the ones that they made. I really don't know, to be honest with you. I think I've been in some newer type trailers and over the years, and they seemed a little be better made or something. Maybe. Uh, believe it's raining. Let's go see if we can see if. Let's go see if Biddy is outside. Maybe. Now my dog didn't come in last night. I've been a little concerned about that. She didn't come in. I seen her yesterday evening when after it was dark already, and I thought, well, in the middle of the night. Biddy, it's raining out here. Water come, the water's coming off the porch roof, but it started raining in the middle of the night, and but I was already getting up. Like if I'd fell asleep even before the rain, I was getting up and coming out here and trying to. I was, trying to see if my dog was out here, and she never was coming to my calls or nothing. Now I messaged my neighbor over there where you see the blue car. That's my neighbor Betty and them over there. That's the main person I associate with here in the trailer park on a regular basis, just about every day. And she gives me rides and stuff around, like so. Basically, Betty, I messaged Betty this morning and was like, "Good morning." I was like, um, my dog didn't come in last night, and then like I've been checking and I ain't been able to find. Well, Betty said she saw Biddy this morning out there playing, and then when she left a little while ago, she said Biddy was under her trailer, so she might be over under the trailer, but under her trailer. But I seen the other two dogs that she plays with just a little bit ago, and not her. So and I know she ain't in heat and everything. That went on about a month ago. She came out of that. uh, Now, unless Betty was mistaken and thought she saw her and it wasn't her, it could be that case. pouring me another little bit of coffee here. I appreciate anybody that is watching and listening. I know that somebody's been, whoever you are that tunes in on pretty regular. I kind of have an idea that it might, there, like I said, there's several people that I know that watch from the TV. And if you're watching from the TV, you're limited on what you can do. Make this a little bit of coffee here. I don't know if I need to sweeten it or not. Sometimes I just drink it black, but here lately I've been on a kick to put a little bit of. I'd gotten a little bit of creamer from the church the other day that was actually in the little packets and it's liquid. Yeah, I'm not going to go with, well, probably need to try to get to the pharmacy today. There's some iron supplement tablets that I think I can get that's prescribed to me. You can buy them over the counter, I guess, but these are prescribed and I think I don't have to pay for them. Not out of pocket. So need to get that. And then I don't know what else I might need to do, but trying to get everything. It's kind of rainy and frumpy, today. So not a lot. I don't plan to do a lot outside, I guess, unless I am not getting a ride to the store or something and doing that. Now, I haven't done a video for this yet. Who is? Okay. Okay, I think it was a spam phone call coming in there. But like I haven't made a video for this yet. I'm probably going to do one before the day's over. I do have a video uploading right now that I have to make public where I continue on with the fifth agreement and talking about we're in the book, the fifth agreement, but it's going through each agreement, kind of giving you a summary of it, especially if you just pick up the fifth agreement and didn't know about the four agreements or any of the other stuff, you kind of need to have that background to really digest when you get to the part of the fifth. But I'm going to read the devotional to you from Jesus Calling real quick. I am going to probably record this onto a video later. This is the one that I want. If I make a video for the devotionals today, it'll be this one. The Jesus Always one is all right, but I like this one a little more today, and it's shorter and just November 25th. It says, "Thank me frequently as you journey through the day." Thank me frequently as you journey through today. This practice makes it possible to pray without ceasing, as the Apostle Paul taught. If you're serious about learning to pray continually, the best approach is to thank me in every situation. These thankful prayers provide a solid foundation on which you can build all your other prayers. Moreover, a grateful attitude makes it easier for you to communicate with me. When your mind is occupied with thanking me, you have no time for worrying or complaining. If you practice thankfulness consistently, negative thought patterns will gradually grow weaker and weaker. Draw near to me with a grateful heart, and my presence will fill you with joy and peace. Now, the other reading is very similar, and it's a similar message of like being thankful and having gratitude can. Well, I think even in the fifth agreement today, he talks about, trying to do your best, always putting that best effort forward and living your authentic life, like being your true self, not being afraid to be who you are and stuff. If you're uh, accepting yourself for being yourself, a lot of times, a lot of people in this world, and even Grey Cloud himself is guilty at times still of having self-doubt, of thinking, I'm just not, like earlier today when I was reading in the fifth agreement, it was kind of like, I have been there and I am there. Like, what have I done with my life? I'm 51. I had a lot of these plans. I had all these things. But you know what? I have started taking action, a little bit more action than I have in a while. Like, especially on the creative side. I talked about this yesterday. So there's been a few people that said, they'd be willing to help me and be part of something, but I got to do my part. So I was talking about how Sunday I started writing down some ideas. I need to start so I need to start flushing out some of the I need to come to more of a concrete idea of some of the characters I've had for a long time. I'm rethinking like what I thought might been the basis and the exact way I wanted it originally. I'm seeing that there's many possibilities to shift in the way that I tell the story and how dog ends up being dog and all this other stuff. So at least I've got some sort of creative spark in the writing section going. I need to try to do that today. Today's a good opportunity to try to get creative, especially with the rain and stuff. I think it's going to quit for a little while and then maybe start back this afternoon and then clear up. But then we got a cold front coming in. Your reference scriptures from that reading would be First Thessalonians 5:16 through 18, James 4:8, Romans 15:13. Now I'm gonna probably read this into the camera later and do like a video. But I felt compelled to do the fifth agreement first today. And when I end this stream, when I end this stream here, I will go about uh, uh-oh, chat disconnected. Uh, okay, it must have reconnected. Cool. Okay. Okay. So, how long have I been going? Not even 30 minutes yet, and I'm already feeling like it's been too long. I need to take a look at some of my supplements real quick. Gonna hang out for a little bit longer. I'm trying to assess in my mind, kind of what the best route to take today. Well, a lot of the times it's best for me not to put too much salt in it. Uh, putting putting too much thought into my day can actually make my day a little bit more difficult sometimes. Uh, but hey, Victoria, how you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm a little concerned about Biddy today. She didn't come in last night, and then it started raining in the middle of this morning, like about 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know, about 4 o'clock this morning or something. It was still dark, but I got up all through the night. Like when I'd get up to use the bathroom or something, I'd go and check and see if she was outside. And then when it started raining, I kept checking. Now my neighbor Betty claims that she saw Biddy this morning playing, and then when Betty left out a little while ago, now she's back home now, but when she left out a little while ago, she said she saw Biddy and Biddy was up underneath her trailer. I don't know. And then shortly after, I saw the other 2 dogs that Biddy plays with, but I didn't see Biddy, and I was calling for her, and I was calling for her, but I still ain't. Normally, if it's raining like this, she'll be on the porch wanting to come in, or she goes up under my trailer. Now did Betty actually see Biddy, or did she think she saw Biddy? You know, like that's another question too. So we'll just see what happens. I don't know if you just came in. I just read the Jesus calling on here as a to anybody that might have been hearing things or watching. And let's see here. Now, why is this? Uh, that's weird. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering because I just went out, but like the rain had stopped for a minute. Like when Betty was gone for a little bit, like Betty had texted me and said, I saw her. She was playing this morning, and then she said she was up under my trailer when I left, and I didn't know Betty had left already, but she had left and she done came back where she went. And but during that time frame, I seen the white dog and the little dog that belongs to Betty and them, Grizzly. But that's not to say that she's not running around with them, and that other little white dog stays outside. So that dog probably knows somewhere to get dry when it's raining like this. And if Biddy was out there playing around, and you know, we'll see by the end of the day. If I don't see her by the end of the day, then I will probably I will think that maybe Betty didn't see her, and everything kind of happens for a reason. So if she doesn't come back, I'm going to be sad, but at the same time, she also I think is she's expecting again. Like I never did get her fixed and everything. Yeah, she does have other dogs and stuff. I think I was already talking about that. I just now was looking at your comment. So, and I saw those dogs, and they were looking across the street. So I was thinking maybe Biddy had been out there, but she was out of my eyesight, and I was hollering for her, but she ain't. But I'll be checking every so often if I have the door closed. Like right now, I got the door closed because I'm not up in the living room. I'm kind of waiting. Uh, in the and I'm trying to get in the habit. Like I think I might have told you the other day, I'm trying to do some morning streams, like anywhere from I might start up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, or it might be 9:30, or it might be 10 o'clock. But I'm trying to do several times a week, pop in the morning time and say, hey, how's everybody doing? And this is what's going on, which a lot of times at this point, there's not a lot going on yet. I haven't really got in there and started moving around. There's certain chores I'll have to do. I was trying to assess if I need to wash any dishes today too. So now the Jesus always reading, I'll go ahead and read that one too, just because we are. I mean, I think there's people that get stuff out of this. It's like sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I think it depends on the day, it depends on the circumstance, depends on what it's saying. But I think it's beneficial. November. This is Jesus always. I created you to glorify me. Make this precept your focal point as you find your way through this day. Thanksgiving, praise, and worship are means of glorifying me. Thank me frequently. Be on the lookout for my blessings, searching for them as for hidden treasure. Praise me not only in prayer and song, but in your words to other people. Tell them about my marvelous deeds. Declare how great I am. Join with others to worship me at church, where the weight of my glory can be palpable. Oh, I do. Oh, okay. Let's see. When you need to make decisions, consider what would glorify me and bring me pleasure. This can help you to choose wisely and stay more aware of my presence. Instead of getting stuck in introspection, ask me to guide your mind as you think things out. Now, that part I really, really like because there's someone I subscribe to, another channel that's similar to mine, but he has a lot more. I think he makes even more sense than anything I probably do. He just has some experience, and it's a spiritual channel. I can't. I'd have to look the name up. Something with Johan or whatever, and he did a video on you know, thinking you're like when things come up, putting thought into, like, if you have an issue come up and there is something you can do about it, putting thought into what it is you can do about it. And then I was commenting like, sometimes I overthink it, but he came back with like, because I said the spirit sometimes tells me not to overthink, but I'm also learning how to discern when there is something I can do about the situation, and then when there isn't. And when there isn't something I personally can do, that's when I have to like step back, and that's when you let the big kahuna drive, you know? Uh, what did it say here? Yeah, instead of getting stuck in introspection, ask me to guide your mind as you think things out. So I was relating that to the conversation that he had in his video, and then I commented on, like when I read this earlier, that uh, but he said like there's a difference in overthinking and then thinking productively. You know what I mean? Like, so when I'm like putting too much thought into my day, like, oh, what am I going to do? What do I need to do? What do I need? And then I end up feeling like I hit a wall. That's when I step back. Yep, faith informs our action. Yeah, like but like I'll sometimes be thinking too hard about what do I need to do next? What am I going to do today? Thinking that I'm really the one in control. And there are some things that I automatically should know. And like I said, there's certain things that are just kind of presented every day that I know to do. But then there's all this other stuff that I've procrastinate on and I could have done a long time ago. And so I have to step back, and then it's almost like I sometimes can feel when the spirit's using my eyeballs to just scan the trailer as I'm walking through, as I'm jamming to music, as I'm doing whatever. And it's just it's assessing, hey, this is something that Great Cloud needed to do a long time ago. This is something he could do today. This is something, these are things that have been put off for a long time. And I was talking about this in the video that I uploaded today, which is not public yet. I was talking about it, and so at some point when I take a step back, that's when it'll show me. Like say I've already done the normal chores. I've swept, I've done a little mopping, I've washed some dishes, all that. And I'm sitting there and I made a couple of videos even. I've even took a walk. Well, then I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I don't know what else to do. I don't want to be on my phone all day. I don't want to lay down, and then it'll a sparkle will come in. It'll be like, well, why don't you get that little sketch pad, draw. Hey, here's a thought, write something down. Or, like I said, all of a sudden I look over in the corner somewhere and I'm like, oh, that mess right there, that's something I need to do. And it's guiding me to show me, why don't you take care of some of this stuff that you haven't took care of over the past couple of years, like this stuff accumulating or things that could easily be done away with and make space and make things look better. Right. So that's what like I was just relating. Like he was like, what did it say in that reading again? About the introspection. It says, instead of getting stuck in introspection, like it's good to have introspection, but I get what it's trying to tell us. Ask me to guide your mind as you think things out. So, like, as I'm trying to sort the day out, that's what I try to rely on, is a combination of what I already know to do with, hey, the rest of it, I'm going to leave to you, like just show me throughout the day, even though most of my days are pretty boring, like if you compare, like if I was to compare them to probably other people's days, there's a lot of like downtime for me, a lot of downtime. I'm going to walk in here one more time and go out to the porch to see. Well, because I'm in my room and I don't have the door open because, like I said, I don't. I'll probably come up in the living room in a little bit. Yeah, I don't see her. She's She ain't out here. I'm thinking Betty might not have seen her. Betty might have seen that dog and thought it was her. Like that white dog, I don't see how you would think that's her, um, but if Betty was out here, like anywhere near, unless she's running around by herself, she would be playing with these two dogs over there. So, um, so I still have a dog missing in action. Um, like until I see her with my own two eyes, I'm not gonna like, I don't. It's good news if my neighbor said she saw her, but until I see her for sure, because like I said, there could be the possibility. Did Betty think she saw her, and then real like she may not have seen her? Like maybe she didn't see her. Yeah, sometimes boring is good, but for me, like going through like just trying to stay sober and stuff. Sometimes thinking it hasn't happened yet. Like I haven't had any urges or anything. I've done pretty good at uh not craving any kind of drink. Now I've talked about this that it seems like a lot of times when I'm doing well in certain areas, like for instance, I'm a little over a month sober, so from alcohol. So it's like there's other areas that I'm slacking in, like certain other vices that, are things that I have issues with that I have to also be working on. Um, I am doing fairly well on my diet, but then the other day, it's like after church we had service, or after service we had a meal, and then there was nothing really to bring home by the time I would make a to go that would have been like, the meats and the different like healthier thing to take, and I ended up with like a kind of a to go thing of a bunch of sweet stuff, and I didn't need that because I am diabetic. But I kind of gorged out, and but I've been doing really good where I haven't been eating any bad junk food and stuff. Yeah, it's a work in progress. It's not perfection, I understand that. But like at least I know there's a meeting nearby on Mondays at 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna try to see if I can plan for next Monday for that Celebrate Recovery meeting. This Friday, if I can find out if that meeting's going on this Friday for sure. Like I said, Thanksgiving would have just happened, Black Friday. I don't know why they would not have a meeting because of Black Friday, but I just need to make sure see that it's going on and try to go. I'd like to try to get some phone numbers and maybe meet some people that might be able to take me to a couple other places if they're going somewhere, and maybe they live nearby or something. I need to I need to talk like I need to talk to Tomcat about. Oh, and I need to try to get in touch with Trish. Yeah, like I know that there's online meetings. I thought about trying to look into that again. I did that a few years ago when I first started getting sober again. Like what, about 3 or 4 years? About I don't know how long ago it's been now. It's 2025, almost be 2026. I'd say it was probably. I bet it was 2023. I think 2023 or 2022 maybe, when I really first got serious and stayed sober for about 10 months on my own. I did go to some meetings and stuff at the time. Um, Now there is some AA meetings. There's an AA clubhouse in Henniger, but like I told Betty and I've told several people, I went to there. I did have a sponsor at one point. We kind of had a falling out, and I didn't really like the atmosphere of that particular meeting. That's the only thing close by for me, and it's not even walking distance close by. You know what I'm saying? It's like now, of course, it's been a couple of years since I've been there, and AA is always welcome and the doors are always open. But I kind of told myself back then when I stopped going to that meeting that I didn't necessarily want to go back to that particular meeting. So it would be, it's not that I'm objected to going to any AA itself. It's just I don't drive, and that's the only one. Like I don't know. There could be a few different people there now, like some of the people, but it's like every meeting's different. And I know you're supposed to put like your recovery before the person, like do away with thinking about personalities, but I don't like sitting around hearing certain types of talk before a meeting starts because it's all older white men and they think it's okay to just talk however because you know if you're just a bunch of guys it's okay sometimes but like at a meeting like before that and stuff I just there was times maybe I'm a dumbass there was certain things sometimes said that I was like this is kind of like stupid but that's where you don't like those kind of things is not really important so we'll see what happens if I end up going over there or not. But I am definitely going to try to make some of these cell late recovery. Like I said, I know of one like last night, but Betty was right before I tried to call her, and then she pulled out, and I guess Jerry needed a ride somewhere. And if I could have like got over there or talked to her right before that, I could have probably just rode with them, and she could have dropped me off. But it all worked out. I always figure things like that kind of happen for reasons, behind the scenes. It's kind of like it would have been great if I could have got there, but also at the same time, I was tired. And then once I didn't go, I kind of invested my time in. I did a little bit of reading and just like slowing down. And then I got situated and came in the room. Now, of course, the later it got and Biddy wasn't around, it was like things kind of got a little more. I kind of had that on my brain, so that kind of bothered me for a minute. But like, there wasn't much I could do about it, so I just ended up kind of going to sleep, and every time I'd wake up at some point, whether it been an hour later or whatever, I'd maybe check. So, and it could be God's way of like taking care of something that I don't need to have to deal with. I don't know. Like if Betty didn't see her and she is gone, if there is something that happened to her, I don't want nothing to have happened to her, but if I don't see her by the end of the day, then I'm going to probably assume that, it's the same with little big girl. She disappeared for a couple of days. And then, like, I just figured, well, something happened to her. And it was about a week later, the neighbor kept thinking that they were smelling their garbage. And it turned out to be my dog was up under their trailer. And it was, you know, so I don't know what had happened to little big girl. I think she might have got hit, but still, it didn't kill her right away. And maybe she wandered back to the trailer park after getting hit or something and crawled up under the first trailer she could get under. So, will some meetings pick people up? Yeah, well, like if I can just get to a meeting, like when I talked to dude yesterday, like if it hadn't worked out the way it did, like Betty was going to try to come back and take me over there, but once it hit 6 and she still was gone, it was 20 minutes before that she left, and then dude answered her phone, like they tried calling me. They're like, it's not going to take that long, and she'll be back. Da da da. Well, once it got right at 6, I was like, it's already 6 o'clock. The meeting's starting right now, so even if she got there 6:15, I wouldn't get there. You know what I mean? I'd be coming in late, and now it would have been fine. But the dude said that there was somebody there that would have be coming my way that could have brought me home. And so once I get to a meeting, yeah, like I don't know what is in a dog's head necessarily, so I'm not going to write it off yet. Uh, like It's just that I know Biddy ain't need heat right now. So that's like her to be completely outside all night and then it even start raining. And then I've just not seen any sign of her. Now, the neighbor says she saw her, but I don't know if that's the case. I think it could be mistaken identity or something. But I'm not going to let that stress me. I'm going to be grateful that I have another day, period. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be grateful that I am alive. I'm grateful that you are happened to catch me here this morning. It's just 10 o'clock my time, but I'm trying to assess like even as we're talking, I'm like just now I kind of like I can feel something going on, like it's looking at stuff, like I'm looking at it, but I can also feel like certain little notes being taken that might come up here in a little while for something I can do. Like I see like kind of something I can do like cleaning wise, and then like this drawer full of cords and stuff. I can go through all them cords and maybe make a little bit more order out of it. That's something that could be done. Like anything I do to like make more order in my life, in my daily surrounding, and in my routine, I think is a benefit. Yeah, it'll work out. So I'm taking from these readings in the devotionals today, you know, that, and then also in the fifth agreement, we're on always do your best. And my best is if I'm putting forth my best, even on a bad day, but I know I'm putting 100% in, that's the ticket. You know, it's like I was saying though, like sometimes at the end of the day, I still feel like I fell short, but there's going to be days like that. So I'm trying to like start, okay, this, and this. If I get to the end of the day and I've at least got these two or three things done, I can be satisfied. Now, if I do it above and beyond any of those little simple things, then it's even like a more like glorious day. Yeah, I was going to say I need to talk to Tomcat. I need to get in touch with Trish too. Yeah, like it's that's what it's talking about in the fifth agreement. When well, you know, it's talking about the fourth agreement right now, and then the next will be the be skeptical but learn to listen. Like I love the fifth agreement, the actual one that the book is. Once we get to it, because it teaches you to listen to people, but be skeptical of what they're telling you. And like sometimes you can be listening to someone and you can hear that they believe what they're telling you, but like you can maybe know in your head that what they're telling you is a bunch of BS. But sometimes it's not necessary to call it out. Like sometimes you just let that BS be BS. Um, you know, like if you know, like you can see that they believe in what they're telling you, but sometimes it's not necessary that you have to believe it. It doesn't mean you can't listen to somebody, you know, and like be there. Like sometimes that's all someone needs. They don't necessarily need you to agree with them. They just want you to just listen to whatever the hell they are having to say, whatever it is they're talking about, whatever it is they're talking about believing or not believing, you know? Yeah, the Jesus calling was thank me frequently as you journey through today. This practice makes it possible to pray without ceasing, as the Apostle Paul taught. So it's talking about praying all through your day and you know being in constant communication. Like for me, prayer is just like us talking right here. Like that's kind of what I do. I think I've mentioned that many a time. Like the way I talk to the Creator, Big Kahuna, you know, source of creation and stuff, the Christ, is as if you, I just talk like it's another person, like somebody's right here, right in front of me, or beside me, or even behind me, or all around me. Oh, and then you know, there's certain times I have to like I'm better at listening now than I probably was a long time ago, but it there's certain times during the day that I have to just sometimes you also I have to realize there's not always instant communication back either. There'll be sometimes, you know, it might be a few days later, a certain subject that I've discussed, a few days later, something comes up, and then it's like, there you go. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, well, I'm going to wrap this one up. I mean, I could try to push this to an hour, But I'm looking at, there's not like I have a time schedule, but there is a couple of things. Like I'm thinking about seeing about, like I think I mentioned it already, trying to maybe go to the pharmacy or something like that and see if I can get those iron tablets and might stop at the Dollar General. I do have a little bit. But yeah, so being thankful today, that's really the main message, I think. Having gratitude, showing praise for, and, you know, and having prayers of thanks. That's what I try to do the most. And like, I think Big Kahuna knows what I'm going to need or not need. You know, like it's okay to ask about things sometimes, but a lot of times I just assume ahead of time that what I need is already understood. Um, so until next time, I'm going to get out of here. Well, like yeah, like uh, sometimes the answer is silence, or it's just, it doesn't come as soon as you want it. Like, it comes more appropriately when you're better prepared for the answer prompt sometimes. Now there's sometimes I get answers for certain thoughts and things that I'm thinking uh pretty quickly, and it helps me just either discern on whether I'm in the right mindset or not. Oh, yeah, but that makes total sense, Victoria. Yeah, I'm gonna wipe my feet off. I've been not having socks on, and the bottom of my feet get a little dirty, but I take one of these little like a baby wipe type thing, and before I put socks and stuff on, I'll like clean my feet off like that. Because I'm clean. I just been like, I don't like through the night and stuff. I don't like having socks on when I'm sleeping, even if it's cold. Like I don't. I'd rather be barefoot. So like if I get up to use the bathroom or go, like last night, check on, hey Biddy, are you out there and stuff like that. It's easier just to be barefoot. Now they do recommend, I guess, if you're diabetic, you shouldn't be walking around the house barefoot and stuff. But it's like, if I wear shoes for too long, my feet sweat real bad anyway. Then it's just like, and it causes other problems sometimes. Like if I'm just wandering around the house. Yeah, I appreciate you being here. Well, this is the second one you've caught since this last week. I thought you caught me the other day. Like I think I was on a little bit later than this time, and you happened to be there. Uh, you're there this morning. I was thinking that's why I'm trying to do this. It seems like it might work out better for some people, for me to be doing the streams. Like some of the ones I'm just doing earlier in the day, like this. If I can get myself to be in kind of like a habit of doing it, like several times a week, like maybe not every single day. And I mean, if I do it every day that week, that's fine. But kind of like just having like a little morning chat with somebody, like every morning, like if you had like friends you gathered with every morning and had your cup of coffee and sat at the table and talked about your lives and whatever's going on or what you're gonna do. And if you work, you talk about your work and your jobs and bullshit that you have to deal with on that. Okay, so I am going to wrap this one up. And I wanted to say thank you for being here, Victoria. Thank you for anybody else that was listening or watching. It looks like someone might have just popped in. I appreciate if you just joined. Sorry that I'm about to end it, but I've been on here we're approaching almost an hour. And I do need to think about what it is I need to do here shortly. Uh, Around the trailer. I do have a dog that's missing, which there's nothing I can do about that. But if there's a break in the rain, I might take a walk, uh, which I need to do anyway. And hopefully I don't see her. I guess she's alive, but I hopefully the dog shows up. I love that dog to death. So till next time, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like trying to just do. And of course, I still kind of throw some stuff in there sometimes. Like I might end up doing a stream later today, and I might do it on my second channel and talk about some comics and stuff. But these morning show, the top things I'm doing on the main channel, because this main channel is the spiritual side, and this is when I can, I'll read. If I don't do a video for Jesus Calling or Jesus Always that day, if I'm doing a little live stream that morning, I can at least share them in the live stream and someone can catch it. And then even later, if I wanted to, I can go back and clip it. But or I can share whatever. But yeah, in the mornings, I want it to be kind of like, hey, and I'm open to having people on too. Like if anybody was to, like I've got it where now, like I could drop the link in the chat and somebody could have joined. It would have been clickable. But I didn't really bring that up or say that, and then I didn't know how long I'd be on here, and then we're about to wrap it up now. But like sometimes in the mornings I might drop the link, but here lately we've been having issues. There's been someone trying to come on and share the screen with me, and I wanted to talk to, but it's been having technical issues. But I think I got it figured out finally, so uh, we'll see about that. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by, Victoria. And I knew, like I said, I need to reach out to Trish. I did leave her some kind of comment, I think. I can't remember. I need to go back and maybe leave another comment. I don't know if I left her my email. I was trying to get her to, if I didn't, I need to. Because she was the one that said she had an idea. She wanted to do something with me and Tomcat like together. She saw after he had came on and we had done a little bit of something together. So I was like, I told him and he was down with it. So I just need to coordinate with them guys. Like I can coordinate with Tom pretty easy. I have direct contact. But with Trish, I need to give her an email so she can try to email me and then we can go from there and try to, unless she knows how to talk to Tom, if they want to coordinate it. I just need to know a good day. They just tell me a day they want to do it and I'll just set it and we'll just do it. But until next time, guys, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Big Kahuna, for letting me be alive and catch you on the flip side.